Good afternoon, guys. Hope you're all doing okay. Welcome back to the channel. We are going to be looking at another weekly update. I do apologize, first of all, that the weekly or eve updates have been. I know I used to do them every Monday, but currently I'm kind of just trying to fit it in with everything I've got going on. But so today we have actually quite a lot of news to go over. So I don't know how long this one's going to be. But if you look at this one, this little kill mail here, that's spicy. And then also we have some huge news right here. Look at that. Yeah. We'll be looking into this, and there's also a lot more. So if you are new to the channel, guys, make sure to hit that subscribe button for me. We are at 4,100 subscribers as of recording this video. So we are very quickly pushing our way to that 10,000 goal by the end of the year. I'm optimistic we can make it. And also, if you did find yourself enjoying this, a like would be really appreciated. And also, I love to read your comments, and I do try and reply to every single one of them about things that have been brought up in the news and everything else that's going on. So let's jump into this, guys, and let's get cracking. Right, so this first section, as always, guys, we're going to jump straight into Z-Kill to see what's been going on there, because there's been quite a few. There has been another 1 trillion-isk fight in low sec. There's been a snuffed out Titan has been killed. Absolute Order Keepstar has been killed. There's been a faction Dreadnought killed in a wormhole, the new one, and it was actually had the micro jump drive fitted, which I think is the first one I've seen yet that's actually had that fitted. So first of all, let's dive into this. So this is the Keepstar kill here. So just so you can see the actual Keepstar kill itself, it's it's a Keepstar. There's not too much to it. It was fitted. It was had lots of stuff in it, and the what I want to get into is the fight itself. Now there is a fight, and there is a nice, amazing cinematic video done by Warlock Industries. I will link his video just below, so you can go and watch a really good cinematic for that Keepstar. So you don't have to watch the 5-6 hours that it actually took to kill the Keepstar. You can watch a really good summary cinematic from Warlock Industries. So first of all, as you can see, is my head in the way? No, it's not. Kind of is, but it's fine. 1,757 initiative turned up to this Keepstar kill. Let's go this way a bit. So they had all these fleets here. Each monitor is a fleet, by the way. So that's the FC, just in case you didn't know. So Governor Lee, the leader of Absolute Order, he was in a monitor on grid. They had 1,757 initiatives, so they outnumbered everyone else. Absolutely everyone else. I've left these in category unfiltered categories because apart from Fraternity and Test like Winterco, I haven't gone through and taken any other Winterco out. So apart from like Winterco, Initiative, Absolute Order Alliance, and it's Absolute Will Alliance, sorry, not but this Keepstar has been dying for the last week. It got reinforced, and then there was a bit of a fight over it, a few 100 billion. There was another fight over it for the armor timer, and this is a big foothold for Absolute Order in Providence, which is a region that is currently being fought over. So with that Keepstar now dead, it's not harder, but it's more awkward to project your power into the area, because everything normally centralizes in a Keepstar, unless it's a travel Keepstar like the big blocks have. So as this group isn't a massive alliance, and that Keepstar is a substantial loss. There was a couple Minakawas. Snuffed Out also turned up and lost a Minakawa, and there was a Dreads on field, and I don't think they got used. They did like probably a couple shots, and that is it by the looks of it. They only fired a couple shots, and that Minakawa nearly tanked 1 million damage. That's impressive. So yeah, it was Winterco have come. They brought a Hurricane Fleet issue fleet. That's a weird one to say, and it looks like Provi Block I know they're not called Provi Block, but Provi Block brought nightmares, a lot of ravens, especially by init. Like, let's have a look. Let's have a look. See how many. It won't do it. Nope. Okay, never mind. It is not letting me expand it. But initiative were very heavy on ravens, as you can tell. But that was the Keepstar dead there. As I said, the what do you call it? Cinematic video is there for you to have a look at, which will be linked just down below. Now, the next one is a very expensive rear. That's it. Words, you know, left me then. So that was an expensive jump freighter killed in Jita on the Sobaseki gate. I did do a video on this the other day, which again will be popping up in that side of the screen now, up that end. If you want to go and watch that, more welcome to. We'll do a deep dive. We actually do a deep dive into how it could be avoided, what you can do to avoid this kind of loss, and you know what not to do. So let's close those down. Erebus Goonswarm lost another Titan. Don't know. I've tried getting in touch with this guy. I've tried some of his court mates to get in touch with. I have not been able to get in touch with them to ask them. It seems either they're offline whenever I try and contact them, or they just don't want to talk to me, which, you know, I can understand. If you don't want your business plastered all over the internet with on YouTube, I can understand that. But this looks like it was a planet, 133,000 kilometers off a planet, and may have been in a pause that got bumped out, or the pause ran out of fuel or something along those lines, and then obviously these guys came in and wrecked it. But again, it is travel fit, kind of. It's got that for a line time. It's got cap recharges. What the fuck is that? Concord Capital Armor Repper on a... Okay, this guy needs to go back and work on his fitting skills a little bit better, because that's... No. No. Okay, I'm just going to move on from that one, because that is horrendous. The Sathriel, the Angel Cartel Dreadnought, released earlier on in this year. It's actually good to see these getting built and getting used on the regular basis. Laserhawks obviously came into a wormhole. I suspect he was ratting with it. Doing wormhole sites with it. Suspect, actually, hang on. No, he wasn't. He was not doing a site because there's no damage from NPCs. So he got caught with his pants down, essentially. Not sure what he was doing, where he was, or like exactly where he was. I mean, he was on a moon 18, so he could have been in a pause, or he could have walked to a safe, or I don't know. He could have been even outside a citadel and bumped off tether. I don't know, but it's good to see some people actually using the Capital Micro Jump Drive, because not many people do. Not many people that have these fit those, and it was officer fit as well. So there's a couple of Mizoro's modified tracking enhancers. There is an Estamel's modified shield boost amplifier. There is a Bryn's modified large plasma smart bomb, and he's Abyssal rolled that siege module as well, and Abyssal rolled the Capital Abyssal shield booster. So that would have been quite the expensive fit, more expensive than it says there, because as soon as you abyssal roll anything, it loses its value, because Ezekiel doesn't know how to price it. So you can reduce how much your kill mails, if you are killboard focused and you actually, you know, you're competitive on that level, because there is a huge portion of Eve that are competitive with Ezekiel on stats and losses and stuff like that. If you do want to reduce the cost of your ship when you're going out PvP, and just abyssal roller, even if it's slightly better or slightly worse, if it's a faction module, that will not count to the ISK lost, which will then go against your stats on total ISK lost. And it just, you know, it can help you buffer it, make it look like you're losing a lot less ISK compared to how much you're killing. That's again if you are competitive with Ezekiel, which a lot of people are. So it's and that's obviously a widely known thing. But if you didn't know it, sometimes abyssal rolling capital modules makes it look like a lesser loss mail. Because especially if those abyssal gyro stabilizers were officer ones as well. That would have been another nearly 369, another 9 billion on that. So, you know, it might be a strat, or it might have actually genuinely just had faction ones that Abyssal rolled to get better, or near officer ones. Because I have Abyssal rolled a magnetic field stabilizer, a Shadow Serpentis one, and it was actually better than a Cormax, which I believe is the top magnetic field stabilizer you can get. And that Magstab was, I think it was like 9 billion on the market. So I sold it to a Titan pilot. And I think it was a Vanquisher pilot, and it added like 16% more DPS on that thing. It was ridiculous. Oh, and it's got an officer damage control as well. So that officer damage control was 5.6 billion. So the thing is, if you have got an expensive ship like this, they really do benefit from having a lot of bling thrown on them. If you are T2 fitting a faction dreadnought like that, then I don't know what to say to you, really. I don't quite know what to say to you. Right, so there, as I said, Sir Losec has had another 1 trillion-esque brawl. Nullsec's like, oh my god. And it was this. This was the Avatar kill mail that I was talking to you about. So this fight went down in Old Man Star, as it says there. Now, there is a video to this by Fear Factor, spelt like PH33R Factor. I will link the video down below so you can watch it. And it does go over, you know, the whole fight from a guy multi-boxing Dreadnoughts perspective. Let me just mute it a second. So it does go over like a lot of the fight, and you know, there's the killing Dreadnought revelations and Dreadnoughts and Titans and all that sort of stuff. Like, where is it now? No. Where is it? There's a Titan. So essentially, the story behind that was apparently, according to a post on Reddit and according to that YouTube video, the guy wasn't really paying attention on comms, saw a couple people jump in, and decided to jump his avatar in as well. He landed slap bang in the middle of a dread bomb, all these dreads. So it was, you know, it wasn't going to be a good time for him. And Snuffed did end up losing that avatar, which made that fight, actually, we'll have a look at it now, the whole fight came to just over 1 trillion-esque. So Minmatar Fleet Alliance and all their friends and Dreadnaughts and whatnot, I mean, they lost a fair few dreads, but in the dread fight, you're going to lose dreads. It is that simple. Deepwater hooligans showing up in bar guests just because why not? And a lot of people just coming and buying loot and stuff. And initiative, again, they are all over the place at the minute. They are absolutely everywhere, which is great to see. If you're in the initiative, I imagine you are getting fed content left, right, and center. You're going to low sec fights, null sec fights all over the map. I'm surprised to see there isn't more in it in Wormholes, actually, just shaking that tree a bit. But it was really good to see that another trillion-esque fight in nullsec, and it was actually only 2.5 hours compared to some nullsec fights where, you know, they can go for 12-15 hours, some of them, like the big ones. And it's good to see these fights happening. I think that meme is quite funny because I know some guys in nullsec are wanting these kind of fights more often, but it seems low sec is having all the glory at the minute. So it's actually quite funny to watch some people foam at the mouth from null sec wanting this sort of stuff, and because whatever reasons there's no more like full invasions of kicking. Like, as the game stands at the minute, just to go on a tangent, as the game stands at the minute, there is no real reason for Fraternity to invade the Initiative, or the Initiative to invade Fraternity, to take Sov and kick them out. There's no reason for Imperium to evict Horde, or Horde to try to evict Goons. I was going to say try then, but that's not really very neutral. There's no reason for any big block to go full head-to-head with another block at the minute to evict them from nullsec, because it'll probably come down to the wire, like in World War B2 or Vietnam, where you've got that many people in one system. You cannot, because the servers will not handle it. Like, the server will not physically handle it. It is that simple. Cannot handle those fights. So with the current software and servers that CCP are running, I don't know if there is any servers out there that could handle it. As it stands, you will not take someone's capital, a big block's capital system, if they don't want you to. It is that simple. Like 1DQ. No one would have took 1DQ from Goons. No one. The whole game tried, and it didn't happen. And it would be the same for Horde. It would be the same for Fraternity. It would probably be the same. I imagine it would be exactly the same for Initiative. I think they've got, actually, to be fair, Initiative can punch way above their weight anyway with most fights. So I don't expect them to be kicked out of their capital anytime soon. And I think it's just the way servers are at the minute that another block will not be able to physically fully evict another block out of their space. I think it's that simple, and that's why there's a bit of a stalemate going on. It's just a lot of people roaming around, and people going from A to B and back to B, and then going to C, and it's just it's just roaming gangs, or try to catch ratters or get the odd structure timer, or so on and so forth. So I think that's why these fights happen more, because there's less super capital ships, so your super carriers and your titans. There's less of those being thrown around in every fight in low sec than there is in null sec. And in low sec, those ships are predominantly safer. They are a good portion safer in low sec, unless you're that guy. Unless you are that guy that wasn't really listed and decided to jump to a cyno. Normally, you would need, if you've got a full 250 man Titan fleet on grid, the enemy will need 250 heavy interdictors or let half that with 2 infinite points on them to hold that Titan fleet. But you can't use bubbles in low sec, so capitals are a lot safer to use in low sec. And these fights, you can throw as many Dreadnaughts at it as you want, and you can get some hella kills with that, and then you can extract the fleet, or extract a good portion of the fleet. So that's, it's really good to see these fights happening. Snuffed Out team, they lost 460 bill. Minmatar Fleet Alliance lost 545 bill. But most of that, bear in mind, on the Snuff team is that one Titan, 230 bill. And that was that was a hell of a fight. Again, if you do want to go and watch it, I will link this video down below so you can actually watch it yourself. And it is a good watch. I've watched it myself. It is a really, really good watch. So yeah, go check that one out, guys. So just taking a wide look at EVE Online, and our space is fully set up now, and we have all our bridges set up. We have all of our infrastructure set up, and space has been assigned. So as moonfracks start to happen and the mining starts going, Imperium will start to then we are going to start making money again. So we're going to be able to make money again, which is obviously absolutely great. And there has been a lot of fights going on in EFM. 19 ships destroyed in the last hour, so that is pretty normal. 6 ships in there. They tend to camp our answer blacks more often than we go into their space, but there has been a lot of kills lately where our guys have been going up through cache and coming round the back here, because it's away from where their main, which I think is oh god, which one is it? E8. That's their capital there. That's I'm pretty sure that's their capital now, if I remember correctly. Memory's not so good these days. And I think what happened with, let me just bring it up. I think one of the big problems that they're now going to face with this, oh, it's incursion, nice. I think one of the problems that they're now going to face is the fact that a Northern Coalition just let these systems go, which personally, my opinion, I think that was a bad move. And I think that was a bad move, letting these last systems go, because now we have free reign of all of cache, and look at all these little back doors we can go through into horde space. So come down here. So we've got that one straight into the spire. We've got that one into here and go on here. And we've got this one that can go all the way back up here, all the way up here, well out the range of E8. And it will take them a little while to respond. They can bridge over and use jump bridges and stuff like that. But Outer Passage is prime hunting ground now, because we've got, you know, bridges going all it is literally, it's only a few jumps. It's not far. Look, there's our capital. 1, 2, 3. Hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 jumps. You know, and then we've got, well, okay, no, it's probably about 10 jumps, but we've got access to the back door through into their space, to be honest, which I don't think they should have let Cash go so easily, but it happened, and that, you know, that I think that's what it is. But I think Horde have got are doing really well, and with fleets coming over and constantly camping this and keeping the pressure on with the regionals, because that's where the importance of defending lies now. These regional gates. If you keep active on these regionals, you restrict the solo roamer, the couple 2 or 3 people or a small gang coming into your space. So they've been doing a very, very good job of that lately, because I think they are camping the Answerblex right as we speak with a, what was it? I think it was an Onyx, a heavy interdictor, and then about 10 others. So they're doing really well camping that, and which is, you know, it's generated, now that we've got this sort of border here, it is generating a lot more regular fights, not bigger fights, regular, which keeps everyone happy for obvious reasons. Now, looking at the wider part of space, we're gonna have to come back to Delve and Querious. So let me just get me information about Delve and Querious, and we will dive straight back into that. So let's dive straight back into here. So there's been some notable changes in sovereignty over here. Apocalypse Now have taken a couple systems off Siege Green. Siege Green have 1, 2, 3 systems reinforced. Adieu, who are Black Rose, who are actually part of Phoenix Coalition. So I got my notes on another screen. So Adieu are part of Phoenix Coalition, so Synergy and their friends. Drake-Lair is the Streamer Coalition, so Luna is part of Drake-Lair Coalition. And essentially, so apparently Drake and OnlyFans are trying to headshot the capital of Phoenix Coalition, because Drake can't keep taking these little fights over Sov hubs for long term, because they are a much smaller group. So Drake might possibly be dropping out of the war for Delve and Querious soon, once KTAC 6 becomes capital system. Other than that, not much has happened so far this week. And then we had a fight yesterday over Sov hubs, but Drake decided it wasn't enough, so they instigated a fight in 1DH over the Fortizar, which led to a small cap escalation. And here's the BR. So is that 1DH? Yeah, so this was over a couple systems. So QC Tap Y and 39P. So just for reference, 39P is here, and QC TAC Y there. So these systems were being fought over on this BR, and it looks like there was a Fortizar involved as well, and there is a little fight there, looks like. Oh, I say a little fight, you know, a lot of stuff was destroyed. Feroxes versus Cerberus's. Or Cerberus? Is it Cerberus? Cerberus's? Or just Cerberus? Multiples of Cerberus? I don't know. But Drake, you know, Drake were outnumbered quite heavily. So naturally they took heavy losses. But it looks like Legion of Exdeath, Siege Green, and Synergy were all actually doing pretty well hitting them, even though they had extra numbers. So, you know, that's one of the main factors to take into consideration. They actually did really well in engaging this, because Cerberuses can be quite slippy when you if you pilot them correctly. So I want some Brutix navies. So that was that brawl there. And then we've got this big one here, which I'm going to go into details now. So update on today. Zerg, a member of Streamer Coalition, and Drake had a constellation come out of reinforcement. We formed and the enemy formed. The fleet lasted a total of 8+ hours. Engaged us twice in 39p, where they brought nightmares, munins, and faxes. We escalated first by dropping 10 dreads to take out the faxes. Enemy disengaged. Drake, being in the munin fleet, at first decided to also reship into nightmares. Once they reshipped into nightmares, they re-engaged us in 39p, where they dropped 3 faxes, and we dropped another 10 dreads. Enemy escalated by dropping their entire cap fleet, so did the same and dropped all dreads. Our last dread wave was delayed due to being bubbled. A nice little spy situation there, or someone just burning onto a Fortizar and bubbling the dreads. In the end, we were successful in take the entire constellation, even if we lost the ISK war. Well, as an Imperium member, I can tell you now, the ISK war is not always important, especially when there is a very important strategic objective. Cast your mind back to World War B2 or Vietnam, whichever one you want to call it. There was multiple Keepstars dropped in NPC nullsec. Now, bear in mind, a Keepstar is worth, what, 220, 225 billion? Our coalition threw over 1 trillion ISK at one Keepstar just to make sure that they didn't get that foothold initially. And I think we did that 2 or 3 times. So quite often in Sov War, the strategic objective is more important and outweighs any ISK war win. So bear that in mind when looking at this. So we've got 305 billion ISK losses on the Only Fleet side and Drake Coalition, and 418 billion ISK losses on the Phoenix Coalition side, which, you know, dreads, it's a cap brawl with a lot of barguests and nightmares. And so let's have a look. So those Phoenixes, nice, yeah. Phoenix, a lot of Revelations. Revelations definitely seem to be the flavor of Dreadnought right now. Revelations and Zenitras. And so that was a good fight, and I bet that loot field was tasty. Let's have a look at. Let's just pick a random. See how they fit. Yeah. So that was that. I mean, that's a pretty standard fit, to be honest. And yeah, that was quite a lot of money on that field. So normally as well, the victor of the fight gets to loot the field. That's kind of like an unspoken rule, but I don't know if these guys follow that, and they might have popped the Rex. I don't know, but that was a hell of a good brawl. So what's that? 720 something billion ISK. Oh, it says there 724 billion ISK, and that was a good fight over a constellation. And that was the 39p, 31x, 7 UTB. So all up here, all of this was basically fights going on. So it's you know, it's really good to see these fights happening in Delve and Querious, our old home. It's serving other people well in getting lots of fights, getting lots of kills, you know, Sov warfare, and, you know, an alliance making its name for itself, alliances making a name for themselves, which is absolutely amazing to see. I am just praying that it hasn't happened yet. I'm just praying that people like ourselves or PanFam or Winterco decide full deployment and just go and wipe the floor with everyone, because I think that would really ruin it, ruin the you know, what's going on down in Delve and Querious. I know in it a kind of, I think they are, as far as I'm aware, they are there only as an anti-block protection. So if PanFam, Winterco, for example, decided to deploy fully, and it would deploy fully to probably around here somewhere, or 1DQ, and just, you know, just fight the big blocks. In it tend to stay out, unless it's like a little third party fleet. I think they tend to stay out. I think there has been a couple occasions where they've dropped a sizable force, but I think that's because one of the other big blocks was involved, so that's why they did that. And I actually, so far, that's all that's been going on this week, as far as the Delve and Quarious conflict goes. There's a little bit going on around here, so there's some Sov changing, and, you know, you've got Dead End here with the system there. You got these guys up here. Who are they again? Kruger was here. Don't know them. I'm pretty sure they are a holding alliance for Hold My Probes, as far as I remember. correct me if I'm wrong, but I remember seeing them up in where we are living now as the Imperium, and Hold My Probes was defending their stuff, so kind of feel like that was them, which that means Hold My Probes are part of PanFam, so potential PanFam influence from here. But yeah, that seems to be the side of the news that we've basically. There's nothing else. Oh yeah, also public service announcement. Don't do this. I don't know why, apart from everyone thinks it's RMT, I don't know why you would think undocking with 170 large skill injectors would be a good idea. It's not. That is never a good idea, okay? Unless you are in like a luxury yacht, those insta-warp cloaky things, this is never a good idea. Don't do it. But it does look like people were probably, you know, he was popped by NPCs. That's even better. That is even better. He's had a bad security status, so he was popped by the NPCs. That's brilliant. That is absolutely brilliant. Unless it was RMT, you know, he planned to do it, and, you know, we'll see. You never know with these kinds of things. But guys, thank you so much for coming and watching this. I hope you enjoyed it. I actually have been enjoying making these again now, and things are slowly starting to stabilize in my life. As I know, I told you a while ago that family member was ill. I can actually talk about it now. It was my dad had a stroke. He was supposed to come with. I was picking him up in the morning. Well, he was meeting me at mine. He didn't turn up. So I went to his because he didn't reply to any messages the day before, but I thought he was just tired, as you do. And went to his, and I saw him on the floor. So I had to force the door open and get him to the hospital. He's now stable, and he's now slowly recovering. But with strokes, it is a very long recovery, unfortunately. So it's, for me now, it's just, if I do seem distracted or I don't get back to you like quickly or in an orderly time, or I miss a deadline for a video, then, you know, it's more than likely that I'm distracted with something with that. I will try and keep up to date with these, as I do really enjoy doing this, and I do really enjoy responding to all your comments. Some of them are actually really funny, and some of them are, you know, shitters just posting because why not? But I enjoy it all, guys. So thank you for watching. I really hope you've enjoyed this one. We've got a next one coming, obviously, probably middle to back end of the week. I'm going to try and aim for them towards the back end of the week now, as it seems to be a bit better for getting all the news together, because I've been reaching out to a lot of people. I'm waiting for information to come back, can take time. I've got a couple more interviews lined up. I know I keep saying that, and I know I keep threatening it. I've got a couple more interviews lined up, some from the opposite sides. So there's a lot of stuff coming with that. We are going to be revisiting Dawn Ria's interview about the Raw Quills, because a lot of you have messaged me about wanting to know more about fits, videos of that insane amount of Raw Quills going, more ins and outs of it. So I'll try and get Dawn back on, and we will do another look at that. But take care, guys. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.